Introduction of Basic Economics Book Summary. What if I told you that the hidden rules behind every price tag, tax cut, and interest rate can be simple enough for anyone to understand? In this video, we'll break down the basic ideas that shape our everyday choices, from deciding how to spend your paycheck to knowing why policies affect your community. You'll learn why it's risky to leave economic decisions only to specialists, and how clear common sense ideas can help you make smarter moves with your money, your vote, and your future. Get ready for a no-nonsense guide that makes key economic principles easy to grasp, so you feel confident about the forces driving the world around you. Listen till the end of the book summary. This video, including its audio and script, is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or piracy is strictly prohibited and may result in legal action. Welcome to Economics English Book Summary, Episode 5. In this episode, we'll explore 2000 published book Basic Economics, written by Thomas Sowell. The full title of the book is Basic Economics, a common sense guide to the economy. Chapter 1 of Basic Economics Book Summary, Scarcity and Choice. Have you ever wondered why we can't have everything we want? Economics shows us why. It studies how we use scarce resources. These resources can be used in different ways. The basic rules of economics work everywhere. They apply in feudal lands. They work in socialist systems. They hold true in capitalist nations. They do not change. A policy that raised grain prices in ancient Rome would do the same today in India or the EU. First, we need to define an economy. It is a system for making and sharing the goods and services we need. But the Garden of Eden had an economy by that rule. Yet nobody calls it one. Why not? Because there was no scarcity back then. Everything was plenty with no shortage. There was no need to economize and thus no economics. In real life, scarcity is constant. People want more than there is. Choices must be made. Some wants will go unmet. Every society faces this. They use different institutions to make these choices. Economics is also about making new things. We use inputs like water, oil, or iron ore. Each input has many uses. Water can make steam or ice. Oil can fuel cars or produce plastic. Iron ore can become paper clips or skyscrapers. Societies must choose how to use each input. These choices shape a country's wealth. It is not just the resources you have. It is how well you use them. Uruguay has more resources per person than Japan. Still, Japan earns twice as much per person. Why? Because it uses its resources more efficiently. Money itself is not wealth. It helps us trade real things. The real measure of wealth is how many goods and services we make and how well we use our scarce resources. Chapter 2 of Basic Economics Book Summary. Sacrifice today. What if a quick sketch really costs 20 years of work? A tourist in Greenwich Village, New York, pays $100 for a portrait. He thinks it took 5 minutes. The artist smiles. She says it took 5 minutes on the street, but it took 20 years of practice to reach that skill. That's investment in action. Investment means giving up real things today. You make that sacrifice so you can gain more later. The artist gave up time. She also gave up other chances. She could have studied medicine or engineering instead. This loss of other options is called opportunity cost. Now think bigger. A country can choose not to make some consumer goods. It uses those resources to build factories and machines. The hope is that future production will grow. But the future is unknown. These choices carry risk. To keep people investing, they need enough reward. If our sidewalk artist earned only $10 for a quick sketch, few would study art for 20 years. The same rule applies to oil. If oil prices fall too low, nobody will pay to drill new wells. No one will invest in finding new fields. In a free market system, low returns send a clear signal. They tell people to stop investing in that area. Investment isn't just for big projects. It happens in small ways too. Think about tidying up your home. You spend a little time now putting things away. Tomorrow you save time because you can find items easily. Today's small sacrifice leads to tomorrow's gain. In every case, investing means sacrificing something real today. The goal is to create more real things tomorrow. Whether you hone a craft, build factories, or clean your room, the principle stays the same. Sacrifice today to enjoy a brighter, more abundant tomorrow. Chapter 3 of Basic Economics Book Summary, Pooling Power. Ever wondered what happens when you put money in a bank? Your little deposit joins millions of others. Together, they fund massive projects. Think hydroelectric dams, shipyards, and high-speed railroads. When you buy stock, you lend money to a company today. You expect a share of its profits tomorrow. A car maker might use your cash to build new factories. Then you share in its success. Most big projects, however, need larger sums. That is where pension funds and banks come in. They collect money from savers and investors. This creates a huge pool of funds. Millions of people can back the same investment. This setup lets you hitch your money to large projects. Institutions spot risks and rewards faster. They also help you spread out spending over time. When you borrow, you use future income now. You pay interest for that. When you save, you delay purchases. The bank pays you interest. Savers become creditors. Borrowers become debtors. In the United States, younger people tend to borrow more. They pay off college loans and earn less. People in their mid-50s save more. They earn more and prepare for retirement. These personal moves affect the whole economy. Money shifts from consumer goods to big projects. That delays some goods but boosts future production. Present goods are traded for future gains. Why do people wait? Only if tomorrow's gains are worth more than today's pleasures. Financial institutions must earn a high enough return. They then pass on a good rate to savers. This encourages people to save. In turn, society can build the projects that shape our future. That's the power of pooled investments. Finally, insurance companies also play a key role. They take on risk from individuals. People pay premiums today. That way they get help when things go wrong. This transfer of risk helps keep the economy stable. Chapter 4 of Basic Economics Book Summary, Sharing Risk. Did you ever wonder how paying a small fee can protect you from huge losses? That is the basic idea of insurance. Insurance companies let you transfer risk. You pay a premium today. They promise to cover big costs tomorrow. This simple trade fixes a big problem. Insurance companies work by pooling. They collect money from many policyholders. They use that money to cover losses from car crashes, house fires, or storms. Safe drivers pay less because they pose less risk. Snowboarders pay more because they face higher risk. This way, the cost is fair for everyone. Life insurance is a special case. Death can be avoided. That makes it a clear risk. You pay premiums for years. The insurer pays your family after you pass away. If lives were predictable, this would be like buying a bond. But life is uncertain. Insurance shifts this uncertainty from families to companies. Insurance companies do not let premiums gather dust. They expect to pay about 60% of what they collect in claims. The rest pays operating costs and investments. They invest in safe spots like government bonds. These earnings can make up around 25% of their income. Imagine you paid $9,000 over 10 years. You file a $10,000 claim in year 10. If your premiums grew to $12,000, the insurer still pockets $2,000. That extra return can turn a loss into profit. This is how insurance companies transfer and reduce risk. You give up a small cost today. You gain peace of mind for tomorrow. It is a smart way to protect what matters most. Conclusion of Basic Economics Book Summary. Key takeaways. You've seen how economics can be simple. Thomas Sowell shows that you don't need hard math. You just need common sense. You learn that prices are not random. They send messages about value and scarcity. Those messages help guide resources to where they matter most. Now you can use this idea to think about local rules, insurance choices, or smart investments. You can spot the signals in everyday life. You can form your own view on economic policies. You can make better choices as a shopper, a saver, and a voter. With this knowledge, you are ready to take part in the economy. You know how your actions fit into the bigger picture. You know that simple ideas about incentives and trade-offs can lead to big gains. Thank you for sticking with this book summary. Your views matter to us. If you have thoughts, drop a comment on your screen now. We look forward to seeing you in the next book summary. Listen the other book summary. Disclaimer, please check the description. Any digital copy of this content that is shared through piracy or downloaded without permission or uploaded on any online social media platform will be considered a clear violation of copyright law. Piracy is a serious offense and strict legal action will be taken against it. Additionally, copyright infringement may result in a strike against your YouTube channel or page, and it could even be deleted. Therefore, please do not engage in piracy or support it. This content has been created based on the references from the mentioned book. However, it may contain some unintentional errors or inconsistencies due to human or mechanical mistakes. If you notice any mistakes or inconsistencies, please accept our apologies and inform us through a comment or message. If you enjoy this book summary and wish to gain complete knowledge of the book, then please consider purchasing the book from an online or offline bookstore and reading it. Thank you.